Welcome to another episode of If You Condone This Shit, They're Gonna Own Your Shit. I'm here with my co-host, Big Kitty.
Charlie, what up with you, boy?
I am floating in a sea of perpetual motion and corrugated shit. So, here we got to, we're going to get right to it because Kenny got to get out here for another job. He's like a Jamaican. He got more than one job. He just got off of one. He's going to get on another one. So, okay.
You try to live like you.
Oh, me? Yeah, I got to. Yeah, my job is to try to get this podcast up and running. That's going to be my job. Okay, let's talk about, let's talk about what's up in the news. We got Eric Adams of New York. He's been indicted for fucking taking free trips and stuff like that. Now, this guy's a fucking cop. You know, I'm kind of thinking there, Kenny. Cops don't think the law applied to them, do they?
Hell no. That's why they do what they do.
I mean, I had some cops that used to come in the station with me, and they towed the line like you wouldn't believe, but they were part of the old guard that they had. They came on, and there was a real bad chief. He used to put them fuckers off the job if they farted in public. They give them 2 or 3 days off, and then as the years went by, I can remember retiring, and a lady was talking about, said, you guys don't know what bad time is. Only police officers know what bad time. And I said, what the fuck is bad time? And they said, well, that's when you get in trouble and they tell you how many days off you get, you know, and you lose that off your pension. I don't know what fucking bad time. You know what bad time I got? I got like 1/10 of an hour because I apparently used 1/10 of an hour more vacation than I had, and they took that off. So I guess it was probably a penny a month on my pension. But anyway, but the police all had bad time because that's what I said. You know, I truly believe that sometimes they don't think the fucking rules apply to them. Here's this guy. Now, you know something wrong. He was like an alderman and something else before he became mayor. He was he was like a high officer in the police department. So wouldn't you think that he would know that something is wrong if you fucking up something? If you're fucking getting trouble, you know that you're not supposed to be taking shit from people, you know? I know as a firefighter, I wasn't supposed to take no shit from people. People couldn't just come in the station and say, hey, well, I want to give you this. So they'll come in and bring you cookies and shit like that. That was all cool, you know? But if they would brought a big screen television or some shit like that, you know, we would have said, no, we can't take shit like that. But these fuckers go on trips. He was taking trips around the globe on Turkish Airlines and shit like that, and fucking with the fire commission to stop, get a fucking building approved because the building was so badly fucked over, a consulate for Turkey or something like that. Why would you risk that your whole career for some shit like that? You know what that tells me, Kenny? These motherfuckers swim in corruption. It's not something new. They probably, if they looked under every fucking rock, they'd probably be a whole bunch of motherfuckers in corruption. You know, I mean, I can remember like, and I think because New York is so big and they have so many employees, it's hard to police all these fucking people, you know? Yeah, I mean, you've got like, they have like 30,000 cops or something like that. 36,000. Huh?
It's not even that big.
New York?
New York ain't that big, huh?
Well, no, it's heavily concentrated, but they got a lot of people in New York. I think it's 7 million. So if you got 7 million people and you got 30,000 people trying to keep law and order, you're outnumbered. So, you know, because I know they have a shitload of firefighters. I know Los Angeles, when I was young, about 19, they had 3,500, and I think New York had probably twice as many firefighters as Los Angeles. And then you had Chicago. I think Chicago, New York is number one on firefighters, and Chicago is number two, and Los Angeles is number three. So, and it goes by the amount you buy a firefighter per capita. So you have so many thousand people, you got to buy one firefighter to keep the shit going. Anyway, but that's what I think. What do you think about that? Do you think you kind of agree with me that there's a culture of corruption? So, I think I truly believe he didn't think he was doing anything wrong. And to this day, until they slammed the cell on his ass in prison, he's probably not going to think he did anything wrong. What do you think of that, Kenny?
Man, there's so much corruption in this fucking world, bro. You got the police thinking they above the law, like you said.
Yeah.
And that shit is crazy. I know when I was a cop, bro, I was so scared to break the law. You know what I mean? Not these motherfuckers, but you know what? All cops ain't bad. You got
No.
10% of the motherfuckers that's bad that making it look bad for everybody.
It's the bad ones that corrupt the good ones, and it's just like, what they said, that they try to tell you, and you'll see this on the news, that one bad apple don't spoil a whole bunch. Yeah, but it does.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
It does. The fucking whatever it is, it spoils the whole bunch. You don't want no rotten apple next to your new apple, do you? So that's the bullshit. These people don't know what the fuck. I mean, I'm kind of amazed that they give these like police officers and politicians, and you see the corruption in Trump, and people don't think that's nothing wrong with it. But the problem lies is when the shit is turned against you, you are going to be the one that's going to be screaming, and nobody's going. All of these people that think it's okay for the president to do this, the president to do that, and as soon as they were driving down the street and the president car runs in them, they're going to try to sue him. Then they're going to find, well, the president got immunity. He can do whatever he wants. You can't sue him, So, when you find out that, you say, oh, what the fuck did I do? How does that happen? So either we all are under the law or none of them are under the law, because once the structure of the system breaks down, you're fucked. Okay. Now, here we go. This week on Tuesday, today, I'm going to put in the date. It is September the 29th, 2024. And for all of our fans, we got a big announcement, and we will soon be on YouTube, have our channel on YouTube. So you will be able to pick us up on YouTube and YouTube Music. So I'm working in the background to get that shit done. So we will expand our audience base. Okay, so going back to this, place your bets. Who do you think is going to do a good job on the debate there, Kenny?
They're going to have another one? I thought they wasn't going to have it.
It's Vice President's debate this week, Tuesday. Stay in the loop, baby. Stay in the loop.
The vice president, who gives a fuck about them?
Well, because because of what, if you knock off the main motherfucker, he becomes the main motherfucker. So I wouldn't want some fucking goofy motherfucker being the vice president, So that I think Tim Walz, his name?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think he's going to wipe the plate with us. Will I wipe the floor once again? But Vance, I saw this morning they were showing some of his. He ran against Tim Ryan for the Senate, and he wouldn't have never won if it wasn't for that Thiel billionaire coming down there and pumping a bunch of money into his campaign. So, Peter Thiel. Yeah, Peter Thiel pumped the whole. He's Peter Thiel's what they call it, claymation. Peter Thiel made him out of nothing, put him into, he got out of the military, got a degree, and then he started working for Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel put him in Ohio to run for the Senate, and he had no other, fucking other, except he made that Hillbilly Elegy movie. Okay, that's his. He wrote a book called Hillbilly Elegy, and he fucking made the movie. So there you go. Anyway, long story short, he is the flunky of Peter Thiel. And I may be saying that wrong, but he's an invention of Peter Thiel. And Peter Thiel, I want you guys, I'm going to put I think there's an article, and I'm going to see if I can find it and put it up there on the show notes. But this guy got some weird ass ideas, He, just because somebody is rich, Kenny, don't mean they're brilliant and smart and well-rounded. They ain't all Mark Cubans, Mark Cuban is a personable person, knows how to talk at any level. He's an intelligent individual, but they ain't all like that. Some of them are some crazy motherfuckers, So I think Peter Thiel comes up into that. So anyway, that's going to be something. So my bet is on Tim Walz. And you don't have a pick because you don't give a fuck, huh, Kenny?
Not about them two clowns.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go with Tim Walz, and I know I'm going to watch the debate and see if he can hold this on. But I think his down home demeanor may be able to get Kamala probably at least 1 to 2 extra points because Vance has a personality quirk. He talks down to people, and I don't think he really understands. He's a product of human engineering. They human engineered him to run for the Senate, and but one-on-one, he doesn't have the ability, and that's why he always have all these flubs out there in the mainstream media. He's always talking. He's the he was trying to justify why he was these cats and dog thing in Springfield, spreading that story and saying, well, he's got to get the word out, and they had already called him and told him that was bullshit, but he still puts it out, and to this day, he's putting it out again. What do you call somebody like that who already know the story but because they can do political advantage, receive political advantage from it, they fucking continue to do it. And I call that fucking an empty vessel, someone without a soul or without any understanding. He has no morals, no scruples. He hadn't came up with anything as a human being, because if he had any compassion, he would turn around and say, oh, I don't want to say this. But see, it meets his agenda to say for this, what do they call it when you hate people from another country or from outside the country. I'll come up with it before the end of the podcast. I'll put it in the show notes. People from countries. Huh?
You say when you hate people from other countries.
Well, like if you hate immigrants and stuff, there's a word for it.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah. So he but that's Trump's big stick is that people. He wants to make people that are living in their nice gated communities think that they're under attack, Mm-hmm. And I find that amazing because I walk every day, Kenny, and I walk in this really nice neighborhood. They got a golf course and all the rest of it. My neighborhood doesn't have any golf course, but I go there because a bunch of old people there, and the old people, they don't get up until about 10 o'clock. So I walk in there. I may see 6 people, and I walk 4 miles, right?
Is
So,
there anyone see what you doing over here?
no, there's only been one person asked that, but this week I had a whole bunch of motherfuckers pull up on me. One guy ran into the sidewalk. He made a bust a U, and he was like he was trying to run me down, but he ran into the sidewalk. Then another guy was in a white pickup truck, did a U-turn, and pulled up alongside of me and looked at me and just said hi. And I said, what the fuck is going on here? But I was walking, and one guy asked me, where you from? You know? I said, where do you think I'm from? He said, well, and I said, well, let me ask you, where you from? He said, well, I'm from Ohio. I said, well, I'm from California, you know? And I'm truly amazed that somebody has, I've never asked anybody unless they have a accent where they're from, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you have an accent or something like that, but if you're just there and you're speaking normal English, I never asked you where you're from. Have you?
Hell no.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, that's their stick is they want to, they're fear promoters. So they want people to always, you know, they want people to be afraid of the other. That's their thing. It's, you know, they want to instill fear. Well, they're going to come here in the suburbs, you know, and they're going to take over, you know, they're coming to your neighborhoods. They're coming to rape your wives. You're coming to rape your kids. They're coming to steal from you, you know, and that's fucking crazy. So, and he's promoting that all through the country. He's like a disease. He spreads this hate, you know, and and as I've told you several times before, hate is irrational. So you're not thinking normally when you're in hate mode. So you don't have the ability to reason anymore. So that's the problem with all these people hating people. And every time they see somebody that they don't think belongs there, they'd come up and they want to confront them, thinking that, you know, that well, in their mind, they don't belong there. See, I was walking in another neighborhood years ago, and there was a guy that was a firefighter with me, and he tells me, hey, man, what are you doing in this neighborhood? No blacks stay here. And I said, what the fuck is wrong with you? I said, I know. Right down the street was a friend of mine's. And see, was an open neighborhood. It wasn't gated because I couldn't get into a gated community. But this was just an open. But my friend lived in this fucking neighborhood that looks like a little, what is it? A French village, you know? It looks like a village. All the houses looks like little cottages from France and stuff. So it looks you know, it's an exclusive neighborhood. You can't get in. Got to go through a garden. And he's black. And I said, what? Did he never see my friend walking around there? I know a lot of black people live in Sun City, so. You know, I went to a party with a friend of mine that retired, and there was a whole fucking, you know, club full of people that were black living in Sun City. But you see how the ignorance is. See, remember I told you hate has no rationale. So in his mind, he only thinks that, hey, no black people live here because the majority of people are white. So anyway. But that's what I'm talking about. Is that's what J.D. Vance is, and that should it should cost him points. But hey, the longer I live on this earth, the more I look at history. I know that sometimes it may not be. Sometimes, you know, in the deep dark secret of a lot of these people, they are racist and they want the license to be racist. You see what I'm saying, Kenny? Mm-hmm. See, and I think that's Trump's big stick. That's the thing, that his magnetic attraction. Oh, look at Trump. He's saying things that nobody would ever say. He's taking off the gloves. It's him. No, he's a racist piece of shit. I'll probably go to jail for this if he gets elected, but I'll tell him you're not a part of this. My opinion was my own there, but they'll have to catch my ass because I'll be on a plane when that motherfucker gets president. Anyway, so okay, so we did that, and you don't have an opinion on that. What do you want to talk about? There's a lot of other things. There have been a bunch of attack on Hezbollah in Israel. Israel is going crazy. They had the pager scam a week ago. We didn't get a chance. They fucking I have to give them some A on inventiveness, but a F on being stupid, because one of the people said, what would happen if one of those pagers was on a plane and you set it off and it blew up a plane and the plane came down? You don't know where all those people are. Pager, by its very nature, I don't know where the motherfucker at. It's a one-way communication device, right?
But my thing is with that, Scally, if they can do that shit with pages, they can do that shit with phones.
Oh yeah, of course they are. What they did was set up a false company in another country. I forgot what it was. It was Norway or someplace like that, and I'm just off the top of my head because I didn't research this. But I knew they set up a front group, and they bought a whole bunch of them. To me is, why are you buying from the same motherfuckers? I would be buying from pagers if I was in the intelligence committees. I would be buying pagers from, unhackable pagers, but I would be buying them from different locations all around.
I didn't even know they were still making fucking pagers.
Oh,
bro.
Fuck yeah, they make pagers. In third world.
Who's the pager now, man?
Oh, third world countries, they're big time. That's for poor people that don't want to get a phone, that have all this stuff going on with their phones. So going in there and getting a pager, because I think, gosh, a pager costs like $5 a month to own, and a cell phone is like $30. So if you're a broke motherfucker, that's really cheap for you. And I'm sure in a third world country, it's a lot cheaper. So anyway, but so they did that, and then they blew up a bunch of walkie-talkies they had. That was up. You know what these motherfuckers ought to do? They ought to just take a plane over to China and buy shit from China. China ain't in bed with anybody. So you fucking probably go there and buy your fucking two-way radios and pagers in China. The only thing I wonder if the chips would work in another country. Usually they do work anywhere, so.
But, Scally, speaking of China, is it true about their economy falling?
Well, I think that their economy has not came back like we have, but the Chinese have so much extra capital, and they hold a lot of their money is in our debt. So they own a bunch of treasury bonds. So they're not going to go under, if that's what you're thinking. They may be having tough times, but China was because China was building, their cities. Go on YouTube and look at these fucking vacant cities. They would build fucking whole cities with nobody living in them. They would have because they were propping up all the business. If you own a construction firm and you're Chinese, they give you money and say, okay, go build, And you fucking, these people got towns that look like France. They got some looking like all kinds of places. They replicate them. So you'll go there to be the Eiffel Tower in the middle of it and all this other shit. So they just don't have people in them, But what are those? If they're sitting there, that's an asset, you know.
That's the definition of a ghost town. Huh?
Yeah, it's a ghost town. Yeah, they have, you know, there was a guy, he was there in the day and then he waited till the night and he took a picture of the lights in the window, and you could probably, you know, he's taking a picture of a city, and in the view you could only see like probably 6 windows with lights on in it, and the rest of them were empty, you know. So but hey, they're spending their money like that, and they said that you know, that's one of the things that they overspend, and because they've got all this money, you know, their economy was booming, and what they do is manipulate their currency to make it less valuable than the dollar. So they fight what they call currency wars. So anyway, I didn't study for this one, so I'm off the top of my head there, Kenny. But that's one of the things that I don't think that you have to worry about it, because here's the thing: China. Remember, I told you that China owns a vast percentage of the hog farms in the United States. Yep. So if you own a whole bunch of shit, are you ever broke? You know?
Nope.
See? And even in that real estate, that they said it's just sitting there, it's what? An asset. It's just like if I leave here and I go live in another country and I leave my house here, what is it? It's an asset. It's sitting there making money for me, right? So, because all it's doing is appreciating. So I'm not losing anything. It's not, there's nobody in it, but I'm not losing anything. So these people have assets, and then they make, I was watching Velshi this morning on MSNBC, and he was talking about they have an electric car. It's BYC or something like that. I mean, a BYO or something like that. But anyway, $12,000 electric car. And so we don't have anything to match it. And that's what they were talking, and he was talking about that by tariffs. He said, remember that I told you tariffs are good because they protect your industries. So if China came over here and there wasn't any tariff against them, they could come over here and drop millions of those $12,000 electric cars, right?
And you know we'll buy that shit quick as ever.
Well, that's right, because fucking money ain't got no fucking loyalties. So that's what I'm saying, and that's why they won't let them bring stuff like that in there. So, and another thing is there, like that Huawei. You ever heard of that? Huawei is a phone company.
A phone company?
Yeah, it's called Huawei.
Uh-uh.
Oh, they got some savage. Huh? Go ahead.
But ain't Timo is from over there too, right?
Yeah. Okay. And what they're doing. Yeah, but
they got all these 99-cent stores closing and all that.
Yeah, because they're selling that shit. That Timo. Yeah, that's if we get off of here and you still got time, I want to tell you a Timo story, but I'm not going to tell you on the podcast. But yeah, they sell some cheap shit, and some of their shit is really good. Some of their shit is junk. So you know, but there's a whole bunch of scams and shit. I just ordered a mouse online, and and it's like $100 mouse. Okay. And the mouse came, and it was made in China. Well, and I had a mouse just like it, and because the other one was failing, so I said, I'll buy a new one. And I'm looking at the box, and it's all Chinese. The motherfucker was made in China in the first place. All they did is change the cover of the box and make it so that you don't see any Chinese writing. But the other one, I looked at them. I said, "This is fucking same mouse." But that's where they make the motherfucker. So half the shit you get already is made there. But if there's like competitive markets, they're going to put tariffs on them and make sure that they're not going to put U.S. citizens out of a job. Anyway, I went all around the
so high here. That's what makes the shit so high here, right?
Well, no. Well, if our labor is more expensive than China. You know, you can pay one guy to work in China. I think the salaries is something like $12 a day. I'm just coming off it's like, it's like 1/10 of the salary in the United States. So, and one of the things, you ever heard of a place called Foxconn?
Foxconn?
Foxconn.
Mm-mm.
Okay, they make iPhones. Okay, and now they're supposed to make them not with little kids and stuff like that. But the interesting thing about it is that they work the people so bad there that around the building they have fucking nets to catch the people who jump out of the building to kill themselves.
What the fuck?
They work their ass that bad, And then there's a bunch of, I think they're Muslims, and they're called the Uyghurs. And China rounded up all them fuckers, and they put them under slave labor. See, and the United States government has, like Apple and all these companies have to go to their factories, and they can't have children, and they can't have like a slave labor. China will use slave labor. So they'll put these Uyghur people in these rehabilitation camps, and they work the shit out of them. So I had a friend of mine that went to China, and he thought it was just amazing and shit. He's, oh man, it's like the conservatives' capitalist dream. They've taken communism, made it into capitalism. I said, yeah, but they still haven't removed the slave out of it. They still got some slave labor in that fucker. Yeah, and they make sure that you don't know what's the slave labor, who's got the slave labor. So some of that Timo shit probably are. If it's so cheap that you can't believe how it's made. I saw one of these fucking cameras that follow you around. You put it up on the top of your computer, and it locks in on your eyes, and you can do hand gestures in it, and it'll follow you around the room, and it's got a motor in it and all this. And this motherfucker's like $39. You couldn't get no shit like that. Okay. Right now, I got on my desk, I got a dash cam because I put dash cams on my cars, because the first time somebody hits you, they're going to lie and say that you're backing up, or something like that. You were backing up. So yeah, you hit me in the rear, but I'm backing up. Okay. I'm backing up on a major thoroughfare. Anyway, so I always have a dash cam because that settles the argument. So I just always point to it. I say, hey, look at that. I said, before you start lying too far, let me show you something. And then, oh, okay. And then the story comes to the truth. But I got a dash cam on my fucking desk right now. Just bought it from Costco. $120, 4K. It syncs with my phone. It puts all of the dash cam, and it tells, it has a pedestrian warning on it. It has lane departure. It has a collision warning. And then when it has a distance detection, speed detection, and when it has a wreck, it locks the fucking footage in a secret place on the camera for $120. So, if that motherfucker was made in the United States, it says made in China by a Uyghur. So, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that's why we're addicted to cheap shit. Even though it's fucking costing a whole bunch of jobs. But let's say if there was a camera company in the United States, then they would put a tariff on it. It's probably made cheaper than that, because there's probably a tariff on this one too. So there's probably like a $20 tariff on it. But there's something on it. Government's getting a cut of it. But, but they can make it so damn cheap. And it's amazing, because the labor. Now, when you have labor from the United States already in it, that's these guys. I just saw the UPS man. Doesn't the UPS guys get like $98 an hour or something like that?
I don't know. I know you ain't gonna get no hide over there. If they're paying them motherfuckers that much.
Oh yeah, see, they can't drive a truck here. They can't drive a truck here, so that's why the UPS and and I had a package delivered this week, and fucking this is like the fourth time UPS man dropped the fucking package off 4 houses away from me, and I'm looking for the fucking package. I actually walked up and down the street, couldn't see it. I guess my neighbor had already picked it up and took it inside, but he came and dropped the fucking package to me, and that's why on my desk right now I got 2 mouses because one got lost in shipment, and I had to order another one. So, and now I got to send one of them back. So, but the UPS man just dropped the motherfucker anyway, and they don't give a fuck. So I'm not going to get into that. But they don't give a fuck if they drop it off. But a UPS man, I think it's like 98. They just had a contract, and I think it's 98 or something like that. But a friend of mine who's a truck driver said, "Oh yeah, but you got to work like 3 or 4 years as an apprentice or something before you get that job." I said, "Fuck. Well, how bad are they paying you?" And as an apprentice, I'm sure it's probably pretty good. Labor from there. Anyway, okay, so I went on down the road, and we're at, how close are you to happen to go there, Kenny?
What, to the job?
Yeah, because I don't want to keep you.
Like about 15-minute ride.
Okay, so you got a little bit of time more, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The winner is... Yeah, I got like about 18 more minutes.
Okay, well, you tell me cut when we get there. Okay, so I just read an article, and this is just human interest, because we don't like to just go completely balls to the wall politics and shit like that. That they said that things that keep you youthful are the biggest anti-aging thing that you can do for yourself is travel. Travel, So if you do a lot of traveling, I'm going to do some traveling next year. I'm going to see how we're going to pull off this podcast thing next year, because I'm going to go live in another country for about 3 months. So and I might even have a YouTube channel about that, Scally's ride through the the backlands. But anyway, but this article said that the best thing you can do instead of buying all these vitamins that's supposed to keep you young, if you and playing all these games. I know a lot of people do puzzles and crossword puzzles. It said this is better than anything that you can do to you. So says the Edith Cron University in Australia. Travel itself keeps you young. The positive experience associated with trips, the social interaction, the mental stimulation, the physical activity, and the healthy cuisine can delay the aging process, scientists says. Okay. So I think it's time for you to go back to the Philippines there, Kenny.
I don't think so.
You're not going. Okay. Well, now so that's enough for that. I said, but here's the other thing. Trump has been banned. They say, is Trump banned in 37 countries? There are 37 countries where if you go to, you can't go if you're a felon. Okay. And there's a list of them on the internet if you guys are interested. But this was a question on snoops, snops. That's supposed to be the oracle of what's false and what's good. It says, and they said, we looked into the claim and found that it requires context. We are in an uncharted territory, given that Trump is the first former U.S. president convicted of a crime, let alone 34 felonies. and there's are diplomatic privileges afforded to dignitaries that are otherwise unavailable to most felons. Therefore, the claim Trump is automatically banned from entering 37 countries as a felon is inaccurate by snobs. Okay. So, because, they have people. Haven't you ever, do you remember that, those old not Die Hard, what was the Lethal Weapon? You remember Lethal Weapon with Danny Glover?
Yeah.
Okay. And there was one of the shows when they were tracking some people in South Africa, and this was back when South Africa was an apartheid state, and they traced the guys down, and the guy turned to him and says, I have diplomatic immunity. And that's a true thing. You can do shit and get away with shit. There are people like in New York because of the United Nations, there are people in New York who fucking drive cars and hit people, and then they go back to their embassy and get on a plane and say, fuck y'all, I have diplomatic immunity. So, and there's nothing you can do about them because that's a treaty thing. Remember what I said, treaty's the highest form of law. So these motherfuckers get away with it. So they'll jump on the plane and boom, they're out of there. So, so I think Trump might fall under those kind of statutes, and that's why he's probably, if he gets elected president, they're not going to say, "Oh, well, send your vice president. We don't want your ass." So they're just going to let his sorry ass come back there. Okay, so and then I don't know. Do you know who Dame Maggie Smith is?
No, who the hell is that?
Okay. She's one of my brother that's departed now used to watch all those British crime dramas and stuff like that. Well, Dame Maggie Smith was a real actor that was from Britain, and she died not today but in the last couple of days, and she played in a lot of movies like Harry Potter and a whole bunch of other fucking, she was 89 years old. So, so we say farewell to Dame Maggie Smith. She died. Okay. Now, let me see here. Where are we at here? Got one more page here, Kenny. Okay. Oh, President Carter turns 100 on October 1st, a couple of days from now.
Peanut man.
What was that?
He's a peanut man.
The Peanut Man. That's right. He's going to cast his vote for Kamala, and he's looking forward to voting for her if he can live that long. So I think they're probably already sent out their early ballots for Georgia. So he might.
Y'all got yours already?
Oh, no. Ours go out October 6th. So we'll get them probably around the 9th of October. Yeah, and I'm vote as fast as I can because I don't want the motherfuckers to try to pull no shit on me. And I dropped that motherfucker right off into a lockbox at the city hall. So where there's a guard right there. So, and then I follow up and call the registrar's office and make sure that they send you a text saying your votes was counted. So, yeah, I'm not gonna with all these fucking people, they will come up and try to get your ass off are you registered to vote, Kenny?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay, good. So, yeah, so you make sure you get your ass down to the polls, baby, or do you get one in the mail?
You better get your ass down to the polls.
That's right. I know. If my mother was that's why I'm afraid my mother would haunt me if I fucking don't go.
That's the only reason why I'm doing it, because she made me go register when I came to California.
Oh yeah, see, I'm telling you.
And we went to the polling place right there on the corner of Jefferson and Vermont.
Yeah.
He
Shit.
said, "Come on, let's go vote."
Yeah. Oh yeah. She never, because she was like in her 30s when she got to vote. Because black women was one of the last people to get the right to vote. Them and what's the other ones? Was it Asian women or Hispanic women? All of them, they only had to vote for white women was in the 20s. Black men was supposed to be in the 1800s, but they didn't specifically say anything about black women. So she growing up in the South, she probably didn't get a chance to vote. So she fucking hammered that shit to me. I don't never miss voting. So anyway, and the last question is, can the world learn from the failure of the Budapest Accords? Now, you know what the Budapest Accords are, Kenny?
No, I was just about to ask you to break that shit down.
Okay, well, when Ukraine broke off from Russia, do you know that they were like the sixth? I don't know what number, but they were nuclear power. They had ICBMs and stuff like that, and they gave up their ICBMs. They gave them up. Now, they had nuclear weapons, atomic bombs. They gave them up, and you know why they gave them up? Because they had like an agreement with all of these countries to say, with the Budapest Accords, they said, oh, well, don't worry. If something happens to you, we'll defend you. And guess what?
What?
They ain't defending them, are they? See, it was the nuclear non-proliferation agreement that they kind of everybody signed on to. But what they didn't know is that it wasn't binding. They just say, yeah, we'll do that. And then, they didn't. So do you think Russia would be thinking again if fucking Ukraine had nuclear weapons?
Hell yeah, they ain't go.
That's right. Yeah, they wouldn't be such a fucking big honcho if they knew that there was some fucking ICBMs catching them. So see, that's why you never give up your nuclear weapons. You know what I'm saying? You never give up your fucking weapons. I don't care. These, because they put themselves in that because they didn't want to be a nuclear armed country. So they say, oh, well, these people promised they'll defend us. So what have we learned from this, Kenny?
Nobody's going to watch your back but you.
That's right. That's right. Because people change, nations change, and their attitudes change. So if you think that these fuckers are going to honor their word, you're full of shit. Unless you got it in treaty and it went, and this was the Bush #1 agreed to this, I believe. And we'll take care of you, don't worry. And that was what the Budapest Accord was what, and that's why the question is, what can the world learn? Well, unless you got some shit in writing and it's binding, don't fucking take their word for it. That's it. So anyway, so what else there, Kenny? What do you want? We're coming to the last minutes. What else you want to talk about? I'll let you come in with a.
What's your thought on P. Diddy situation?
Oh, P. Diddy. Oh, yeah. Ain't that a motherfucker? So you talk about a freak motherfucker. That is a freaky motherfucker. What did they say? Yeah. He bought 55 gallons of baby oil?
They said he had fucking so much baby. I'm like, how much nut?
Yeah.
That nigga, ain't no way you could come that much, bro. You know, fucking weird.
Well, first of all, baby oil is for just FYI. It's not a lubricant because it has a petroleum in it, and petroleum is not a lubricant for it's not a
pinnacle.
Huh?
For penetration.
Yeah, for penetration. It's all right if you want to slither your body all over it, feel slippery and shit like that.
But there's some kind of drug in there that was getting people high.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Fuck that. And
it's not straight up baby oil. It's a baby oil, but not the kind you use for babies. It's like an adult baby oil.
Oh, okay. It's like lube and something like that,
Yeah, the shit get you fucking old. You put it on your body, it gets you high as a kite.
Really? Oh, maybe they put some CBD in it. But I'm on the cursory of this, but they said they had they would make people have sex all night to see if people, I said, hey, I'm fucking freak show. And,
maybe when I was young, I probably could have penetrated. Like, ain't nobody penetrating like that, bro.
Penetrating. Well, that's just staying erect. Yeah, there you go. How you keep it,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't give a fuck how much.
I don't know. I done seen some people that could pull it off there, Kenny.
The blue pill, what they call the Viagra.
Viagra. I done seen some people can do that shit. Yeah, I was there have been some people that could do that shit. So that they could do it. Hey, well, what were they doing? He said they make people to do for 24 hours. So they must have had some kind of drug that kept these people up for 24 hours.
I know they had a lot of Gatorade in that motherfucker.
Yeah. So, hey, but I think the problem is that, he kept people there against their will. So there wasn't willing participants on the shit. So that's the thing. Yeah. So
I know this, bro. I would not take nothing from nobody, not even a bottle of water. Fuck that. They probably have some lubricant shit in there, get you high. Next thing you know, you're chained up butt naked and shit.
Yeah, having shit done to you. I mean, but hey, but see, that's what power does to some people. Now, this is just speculation. I heard this from another podcast, so I probably shouldn't fucking repeat it. But they say Jamie Foxx is like that too. He be having freak parties. So
ain't no way, bro. How the fuck? But let me tell you something. These people that's trying to sue and all this bullshit, you knew what you was getting into. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
You go over there, this nigga freaky deaky and all that shit, bro.
Well,
ain't no way, bro.
I know. Hey, it must have. And you see, a lot of people are ashamed of them. They're ashamed to admit that they were there because he's got videos of all these people.
Yeah,
he was taking movies.
Bail him out. They got till a week to get him out. If not, he gonna release all that shit.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is that buys a lot of silence. So
don't release that, man, please.
Yeah, because see, they get
my
you.
My wife's gonna divorce me.
Oh, but hey, you never know. Look at that fucking video with Ray J and Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian
made her. She's almost a billionaire.
Yeah, but like when they was doing it, was low key undercover with it,
Shit, no, man, that shit's on the web, on fucking World Wide Web.
She looked like a boring fuck too, bro.
She looked like a boring fuck.
Yeah, just lay there like nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't grade it. I'll have to rewatch it and see what it is. But now you probably have to pay for it. They probably monetize that because she's in it. You ain't no more freebies on that, but they put it out there. But hey, that made Ray J too. He had a couple of albums, but he's probably got $200 or $300 million too. Because he owns he has what do they call it? Electric motorcycles.
Oh yeah.
And he's got those Ray J fucking headphones and shit. Yeah, this fucker, he got more money than his sister Brandy. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
So so that's some way. So for all you people who are worrying about it, hey, it might make you some money. Don't be ashamed. You're a freak. Hey, there's a freak in all of us. So
Yeah.
okay, Kenny. With that, I am going to take us out a little bit earlier.
The world is spinning out of control. A never-ending cycle of blood and soul. Families torn apart, children left alone. As they march to the battlefield, with hearts and stone. Why are they killing everyone? Is it worth the damage done? Our tears fall like the rain as we watch them die in vain. Bombs exploding, bullets flying all around us. There's no denying the horror of war. The price we pay for our leaders, greed, day after day. Why are they killing everyone? Is it worth the damage done? Our tears fall like the rain as we watch them die in vain.
Okay, Kenny, that's one in the can. Hopefully, I'll have it. You can take us out.
Cali, Big Kenny out. If you let them condone this shit, they gonna own your shit. Speak your mind. Don't hold it back. Kumbaya.
Okay, free your mind and your ass will follow.